Give it up. All right, we're going to do the course of love. We're going to be on chapter 29. We're going to be in chapter 29, course of love, the chapter on attention. The chapter on attention. We're doing the chapter on attention. How are we doing so far? All right, we innocent. We innocent. So basically all I'm going to say is you're listening for guidance from spirit that may come through something that I say or somebody else says tonight. Take with you what resonates with you. It's no accident that we're here. And what doesn't resonate with you and what you don't believe or don't accept, that's all right. Forget it. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal. Nobody's trying to convert anybody anyway. So we're going to be on page 246. And I'm going to start with the paragraph 2920 that says, claiming your identity and your power. Claiming your identity and your power to make choices is an act that comes from an entirely different place than decision making. Claiming your identity and your power to make choices is an act that comes from an entirely different place than decision making. Claiming is akin to prayer and is but an asking. Claiming is an asking for your true inheritance. You have felt that you need to know for what it is you ask. You have felt that you need to know for what it is you ask. And yet you cannot know until you inherit. You cannot know until you inherit. Can you have faith that your true inheritance is what you truly desire? Can you have faith that your true inheritance is what you truly desire, even knowing not exactly what that inheritance is? Can you have faith that your true inheritance is what you truly desire? In other words, can you have faith? Let's say you had somebody that you thought was going to leave you some money. Could you have faith that you want it, even though you might not know how much it is? That's the question we're being asked. Can you admit that you truly desire your inheritance from God, from love, even though you don't even know what that true inheritance is? Can you not follow me in my choice and accept it as your choice? You have so long been afraid to claim your smallest gifts. Look again at claiming with the definition I have provided. Claiming is also contrary to how you have perceived of it in terms of claiming something for your own. You claim not to own or to separate what you have from what another has. You're thinking ownership is separating what you have from what another has. And then you call it special. Your claim in order to reclaim yourself. You claim in order to reclaim yourself. So what am I supposed to be claiming? I'm supposed to be claiming my identity and claiming my ability to make choices. As a matter of fact, claiming my identity is claiming my power to make decisions. Claiming my identity is the same thing as claiming my power to make decisions. How can one's talent cause another to be less talented? How can one's service deprive anyone else of the right to serve? No two are alike. Only in God are all the same. This is the great divide, the separation between the visible and the invisible, the indivisible and the divisible. Only those reunited with God can achieve the state of unity. Only those reunited with God achieve the state of unity. Only those reunited with God achieve the state of unity. Only the state of unity exists. Your gifts, your talents, your uniqueness are your service. Your gifts, your talents, your uniqueness are your service. If I'm going to serve, I'm going to give my gifts, I'm going to give my talents, I'm going to give my uniqueness. That is your service. Can you not look at your gifts, your talents, and your uniqueness as your service? And can you not come to understand the reciprocal nature of giftedness? That what God has given only needs to be received. That what you have received only needs to be given. The indivisibleness of God is simply this. It's an unbroken chain of giving and receiving. Thus is this a definition of unity as well. It's an unbroken chain of giving and receiving. Service is but another way of stating this law of creation. This unbroken chain of giving and receiving, all your worry over the future and the past is but a worry about the return of gifts given. All of your worry over the future and the past is but a worry about the return of gifts given. All of your worry over the future and the past is but a worry about the return of gifts given. What gift of opportunity did you not accept in the past? What gift of opportunity did you not accept in the past? Might you not recognize in the future? What opportunity did you not accept in the past that you might not even recognize in the future? What gift of fortune, what chance encounter, what decision might have changed your life? What should you have done that you didn't do?
Oh my.
What might you do in the future if not for your fear of where the direction you choose might take you? What might you do in the future if not for your fear of where the direction you choose might take you?
Wow.
What peace might you know if you truly realized that all gifts come but once and are forever? The past nor the future matters not. All is available in the here and now, where giving and receiving occur. No chance to learn or grow is ever missed. Each still exists. Each chance to learn or grow still exists, though not in time. Each chance to learn and grow, each still exists, but in the present. Can you replace your attention to the past and future with an attention to the present? Can you replace your attention to the past and future with an attention to the present? Okay, anybody have any questions or comments about any of that we just got through covering? Okay, we went through that entire chapter. That was chapter 29, and I'm going to do a quick review of the main points in chapter 29, then we'll hit the next one. And feel free to ask a question or start to discuss anything. If not, I'm going to go ahead and see how much of this I can remember so I can give myself some peace. So to attend means to be present and to be of service. To be of service to God is not to be a slave to God. To be of service to God, the Course in Love says, is just to attend to God, to give God your attention, to give God your care. Give to God your devotion and your willingness to serve instead of use. Is for God to make use of you. If I want to serve instead of being used, then love is making use of me. Let the universe be of service to you rather than trying to use the universe to accomplish your goals. Let the universe be of service to you instead of trying to use the universe to accomplish your goals. Let the universe be of service to you instead of trying to use the universe to accomplish your goals. The unity that we want to establish is regained in wholeheartedness. Your return to unity is your return to your full power and your ability to be of service to God and your brothers and sisters. To be of service to God is to return to God. Your return to unity is all that God seeks from you. This is an example of the return to unity, being willing to be here together tonight. That's the only thing that's really being asked of us. Your service is but dedication to you being the accomplished. One of the most powerful statements I ever heard in the Course of Love was that the reason why it says at some point that you have accomplished, that you no longer need to learn, that you'll know when you're at the point that you no longer need to learn, will be because all of the experiences that you've ever had since the day you were born, no matter what those experiences were, the purpose of those experiences were to get us to the point that we turn within.
Yeah.
The purpose of all of that was to get us to the point that we turn to spirit, that we turn to God, that we start questioning and trying to tap into something greater than our own personal selves. So if you're at the point that you're ready to put your relationship with Source as your primary relationship, then you've actually learned everything that you were meant to learn, because everything you've gone through was to bring you to the point that you turn to God. So if you're at the point that you're willing to turn to spirit on your own, then there's no need for you to continue to learn through the lessons that you learned in the past. So if that is your goal now, then you are the accomplished. You have accomplished the goal of learning. And then it says that once you've accomplished the goal of learning, at that point that you're really willing to be of service, then at that point you're really ready to start creating, and you're really ready to start experiencing the life that you've always dreamed of. That comes after the decision to heal your relationship with God.
Okay.
Everybody understand that? Get what I just said? Okay, so if I'm not ready to put my relationship with my Creator first, then I'm still going to create more lessons in the world in order to bring me to the point that I surrender to a power greater than myself. So I'm going to keep going through the same crap over and over again until I get to the point that I say, not my will but thine. What is it that you want me to do, Creator? What is my connection with my source? So all the things that people go through in the world, they're going to keep on going through it the way they're going through it over and over until they turn within to the Holy Spirit within. So if you're to the point that you're willing to make that choice right now, if you're to the point that you're ready to make that choice right now, then you are the accomplished.
Yes.
Then you have accomplished the goal of learning.
That's when you ask the questions. What do you want me?
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
Yes, what do you want me to do?
Say? Yeah.
Yeah. What do you want me to do? Where do you want me to go? What do you want me to say? Who do you want me to say it to? That's what you ask. That's what you. The Course of Love and the Course of Miracles says. That's what you ask God or higher power. You know that the divine, the divine plan. According to the Course, the divine plan is just for you to ask God. The divine plan is. That's not what I thought the divine plan was. I used to think the divine plan was something else. But the divine plan is for me to start praying, for me to start asking, for me to start trying to get guidance. That's the plan. What's the plan for you, Earl? The plan is you're going to start asking me for guidance. That's the plan. You're going to turn within. And everything that's going to happen to you is it's not happening to you as punishment. It's an opportunity for you to learn some lessons that eventually will turn you within. And you can keep on going around in circles many times as you want. You're just cute, so you can just keep on going through the same little lesson over and over and over again until you get to the point that you go, there must be a better way. What is the better way? I'm ready to turn the spirit now.
Yeah.
And then, how do you know when you're willing to turn the spirit? Well, then you start actualizing the teachings that you say is your spiritual path. You actually start doing it. Right. It's a radical way to tell the whether or not you're actually ready yet.
Yeah.
If you're actually ready, you'll start doing what you're being asked to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Any questions? Any comments? Any comments? Any questions? Go on.
Kind of the first step for me is recognizing it, even though I might not be quite willing to go in that direction, just recognizing that, you know, I could go over there if I want to.
Yes, that's
and
it.
then next time I go,
Absolutely.
I want to go over there.
Absolutely. The first stage is just the recognition that you really want to head in the right direction. But in the right direction is merely the direction of what you want. I would think that would be a perfect definition of the right direction. And so I say I want peace. And there are laws of peace. There are mental attitudes you have to take if you want peace. And so until I'm willing to activate those mental attitudes for peace, then I'm not going to have peace. And in the course of saying that you're not going to have peace as long as you divide your allegiance to two different ways of thinking that are diametrically opposite to each other. That the most you do is fluctuate, but you don't change. You go from one to the other, from one, love, fear, love, fear, love, fear, unity, separation, unity, separation, unity, separation, unity, separation. So you're really fluctuating, you're not really changing. I'm not changing until I go unity, 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 only unity, all unity, 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 joining, unity, 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 unity. That's all I want is unity. That's all I'm focused on is unity. Now I've changed my mind. Not unity, separation, unity, separation, unity, separation, unity, love, fear, victim, responsible, victim, responsible. That's fluctuation. That's not change. Okay, and if you want to be of service to the world, then all you have to do is share your unique gifts, talents, and abilities with the world. So basically it's telling me that the greatest service that I could give to anybody would be for me to express myself.
Yeah.
The way that I would love to express myself. That sounds cool to me. Does that sound cool to you? Yeah, that your service would be the thing that's natural for you. Right? Okay, the truth is simple. The truth is simple, 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 and that's what makes it so hard. Okay, then the next thing it says is you need not concern yourself with anything other than this goal. Your divinity is a state unaltered. The time of tenderness is the time of your approach to unity. The gateway to unity stands before you. God himself will guide your entry. Your work is the work of creation. Your creation is a service to the world. Your creator's work is your creator's service to you. You cannot imagine God toiling, and so you should cease to imagine yourself toiling.
Wow.
Which isn't the same as going to the toilet. That's two different things. Okay. So the next, I'm just reviewing, right? So the other point that we were given is, hey y'all, you got to give up this idea that no pain, no gain. That it's got to be a struggle in order for you to be happy.
No.
He's saying you got to get rid of that idea. We got to get rid of that idea that it has to be a struggle in order for me to be happy. You have to get rid of the idea that it has to be a struggle.
Yeah.
Raj, you have to get rid of the idea that it has to be a struggle. Okay.
Struggle
Well, if you want to struggle, it's obvious that you can. Okay. So if you want to struggle, no problem at all. You're so free that you have the freedom to struggle.
Yeah. Darn.
Yeah, we're so free. You have the free. You're free to suffer. You're free to suffer if that's what you want to do. That's the nature of freedom. You can choose it however you want it. Okay. You're free to suffer if you want to suffer. Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. I want to suffer, I can suffer. Okay. This attitude of toil is told as part of your rebellion against ideas of service. You have no time for more than you do now, and you think of service as something to be fitting in here or there when it's convenient to your busy schedule. God's work takes place outside of time, as do all acts of truth and truth service of creation take place outside of time. It is essential to your release of the concept of toil and your acceptance of your function that you're here to accept is that God does not operate the way we do, that the Creator works outside of time. It's interesting to think that what's outside of time is merely now. Now is outside of time because time is based on the past or the future. So actually now is outside of time because now always is. Yeah. Where time is about something in the past or the future. So the now works outside of time. So God works now. Love works now. What's the truth works now. So it's one of the things that's interesting. A lot of times I think of in clarity sessions that I wish I could go straight to what would give the person what they want the fastest. But I found you really, in the most cases, you can't. Because what works fastest is God. What works fastest is getting in touch with God, your relationship with God, because that's outside of time. So God could answer the question now. The situation could be solved through the Creator now. But most people, their focus is on what it is they need to do to handle the stuff they're going through. So they're looking for you to tell them another plan that they need to do out in the world, rather than if you really want this solved right now, especially since you don't know what to do, then you need to invoke divine order and divine power and spirit in this situation because spirit can solve it now. But that's the hardest thing in the world for a person to believe when they're most afraid, because they're most afraid because they don't believe it. The level of your fear is in direct correspondence to your lack of faith. Your fear is a lack of faith. So the more frightened a person is, the less they believe in the power of God. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
That if I really believed that I was provided for by an infinite power that could handle everything that was a part of me and in me and all around me and surrounded me, that I wouldn't be afraid.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to give yourself a quick reality check about your faith, all you have to ask yourself is, how much fear do I have? It's like I said, it's not hard. It's simple. Okay? And it's also about that statement. I mean, you don't have, I mean, I'm curious. You don't have to agree with me. But actually, it sounds pretty simple. If I really believed that I was protected by God, I wouldn't be afraid.
Right.
So if I'm afraid, I just, for a minute, lost sight of my connection with Source. Which means I'm not using my own unique talents and gifts to be of service to everyone around me. And it also means I still think that I've got to handle it by myself and it's got to be handled at some point in the future. So I'm not operating in the only time that's outside of time, which is now. Deep.
Yeah.
Deep, 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 deep. It is essential to your release that you have to let go of the idea of toil. Your schedule is just another way of saying your life separate from God. Your schedule is just another way of saying my life separate from God. No wholeness and real happiness will be possible for you while you look at life in terms of schedules, plans, timetables of things to get done. No wholeness and real happiness will be possible for you while you look at life in terms of schedules, plans, timetables of things to get done. No real wholeness or happiness will be possible for you while you give yourself time for work and then time for leisure, seeking them not as the same thing. It should be no difference between your work and your leisure. Your work should be your leisure. Your work should be your joy. So it shouldn't be no such thing as work and play. Your work should be play, and your work should be play, and play should be your work. You know, a doctor that loves medicine is not working.
Yeah.
You know, a teacher that loves to teach is not working. It's their pleasure. You are God in life. You are both life and service to life, both God and service to God. You are here to serve and be served. How is your being served quotient? Are you good at being served? You are here to be served. You are here to be served. And you're here to serve and to be served. You are here to be provided for. That chapter said, so this is all coming out of that chapter. You are here to be provided for. And how many of you all would swear you haven't heard a lot of the stuff that I'm saying? Even though you know you went through this chapter.
Yeah.
Okay, well, think of how many other things that could be incredible that you don't remember and you've forgotten, just like that. Think about that for a second. You know you read this and we went through this, but so much of what I'm saying is like the first time you've ever heard it. But it's not. So there's this. The truth is telling us we have a whole life we've forgotten about. We have a whole identity we've forgotten about. But guess what? Just because you have forgotten something doesn't mean that it's no longer in existence. It just means you forgot where it is. You lose your keys, they still exist. You just forgot where you left them. So you're really seeking for keys that do exist. Okay, we have a happiness and a joy and a power that does exist. We just forgotten where it is. In us. We've forgotten that it's in us. And everything here directs us outside us. So we've forgotten where it is, in us. So the most helpful person in my life would be someone to help me remember it's in me. Not someone who's helping me search outside me even more. Any thoughts about that? Any feelings about that? Any of this?
I was just reading that in the way of mastery, where they were saying that every experience that you've had, you've never really forgotten it. It's there. Just don't know where to look for it, but it's there. In the time when they went back to your experiences before you were 5 years old. they're still in there.
They're all stored in our body. The Course in Miracles teaches that the body is nothing but the seat of your memories. That all of your memories are in your body. Your body is a memory. That's interesting. Everything you've ever experienced is stored in your body. All your memories are in your body. Your cells completely replace themselves every 7 years. Every cell in your body replaces itself every 7 years, and I still have a scar on my knee that I got when I was 10 years old. So that's an obvious example of the body storing memories, even though those cells are not even the same cells that were injured. So your body is just one big memory. So we need to put some good memories in it. We need to put some new memories in it. You need to have some fun with that body.
Yes.
There needs to be some love happening with that body. There needs to be some
Yes.
peace happening with that body. You need to make some new memories with that body. When you're angry, your body shows you that you're angry through sickness and grievances. Your body is constantly showing you what you're thinking. My body is showing me that I believe in age and aging. My body shows me that I believe in different color bodies. My body shows me that I believe in the male and the female body. My body is constantly showing me what I believe about myself. So how you feel about your body goes a long way to giving you an example of how you feel about yourself. Even though your body isn't yourself. As a matter of fact, the Course in Miracles says that one of the reasons why the body gets sick and gets hurt is because we're mad at it, because it's not living up to our expectations. That makes perfect sense to me. If I'm constantly condemning my body and criticizing my body, then that's really me being mad at my body. That my body is not giving me the attention that I think it should and I want it to. It's not accomplishing my goals. So my body gets sick. I ask for so many answers, and this book gives me so many answers, I just don't like them. Some of them I like, some of them I don't like. The truth is I like all of them now. I pretty much don't hear any answer from the truth diagnosis said that I don't know. Because to me, it makes sense. I'm so glad there's another way to look at things other than what the world teaches. Oh my God, I'm so glad there's another way to look at things other than how the world teaches us. And I'm glad I'm smart enough to realize I can decide what I want to believe. I don't have to believe nothing that nobody else believes. That's beautiful to me. That's great. Because I used to think I had to like go along with the program. Like I just had to believe along with how everybody else believes, and I had to do it the way everybody else, so I would be normal. Happiness is in your abnormality. Normal people are miserable. They're the ones that's complaining about everything. Be your unique self. I'm saying this so I can hear it, so I can remember it, so I can do it as much as I'm saying it for you. And I like that. So I feel really good saying this stuff, period, because I need to hear it. I need to hear it. I need to hear that I need to let go of the idea of toil. I need to let go of the idea that I can't be happy until sometime in the future, and that God does not depend on time. I need to remember that I got the power of decision, that I can make a choice tonight that'll change everything. I want to remember that. It says here, I love this, it says, the idea of use. It says, life exists. It says, you are here to have needs met and to meet needs. The circular nature of the universe leaves no one unattended, but you don't realize this. Life exists in service to itself. Life exists in relationship. Relationship is the interaction within which service occurs. It's within a relationship that I'm going to give service. I'm in relationship to you. I'm giving service to you through my talents, which is my service, which is not toil, because it's my pleasure. And I'm provided for. It works. I've had the opportunity to see it work for 30 years when the people constantly change. It's awesome. I've seen it. I've been in here and I've taught classes where this room was full and that room was full. Some of you have been here. And I've been in classes where it's small groups. The only thing that's consistent is God sustaining me and taking care of me. There's nothing else in my life that's consistent. Nothing. The only thing that's been consistent for me as long as I've been doing this is whatever the invisible presence is that keeps on taking care of me as long as I express myself with love.
Hi, Susan. You
Mhm.
mentioned something about sickness, and I know that in the Course in Miracles, it's no person is sick until two people agree or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got a call today that my sister, probably needs a kidney. I'm like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
where do I go? Where do I sign up?
Mhm.
What do I do? But at the same time, I'm like ambivalent about how do I feel about that. I mean, I obviously can't tell her you're not sick. She's like, I need a kidney, and I'm like, okay, there's a kidney if there's a match or however they do it. So I guess I do, even though I read the Course, a lot of it just is fuzzy to me. I don't think she's sick. I think it's in her head. The doctor said, hey, you need a kidney.
Okay, now that's a good
Is
point.
it in my head that she needs a kidney?
So the way that one of the ways that the Course says that you would handle that is what you would want to do is join with an idea of health. Right before my mother made her transition, she was very, 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 very ill, and some of the craziest things that I've ever seen people on the path, or people who study the Course in Miracles and metaphysical concepts that say it's not real and that you create your reality, is to walk into a room to a person and say, why did you create that? Mm-hmm. Or to walk into a person who's suffering like that and say, well, that's not real. That's actually an attack on that person.
Right.
Because as soon as you say something to that, they're going to go into immediate contraction and anger and fear. So you only say
but I'm
something.
wondering, am I contributing?
No, you are not contributing as long as you remember that she is not her body and she really is an unlimited spiritual being. So as long as you think the truth, it doesn't matter what you say. Because you're going to be directed from moment to moment what to say. So that's what I was getting ready to say. So I walked in to my mother and I said to her, boy, would you love to join on the idea of you being healthy and really feeling great? Mm-hmm. And then she went, yeah, I would. See, so what I did was what the Course says about two minds sharing one idea equally. It takes two people to make a decision. So what I did was just pose it as, how can I support you in having the health that you want to have right now? Would you like to be healthy? Because I'd love for you to be healthy. Well, you know what the person's going to say. They're going to say, I want to be healthy too. Salvation has come. Healing has come. It's no need in the world for me to walk in and say, well, this is just an illusion. And so I'm going to sit up here and I'm going to tell you you're not a body, you're free. Because that would never be what I believe God would direct me to do. The Course in Miracles says you always communicate to people on the level that they can hear you without fear. Mm-hmm. So you start at the level that you can talk to them without fear, and then you gently raise them up if they're open to it, to another way of looking at it. So the fact that you remember the truth about your sister, that's the healing of your sister. Okay. And then her wanting the kidney, the Course would say that should be seen as symbolic of her willingness to be healed. It says that if you can't heal yourself, then it's okay for you to believe temporarily in external healing methods. Okay, so since she obviously doesn't believe she can heal herself, it's actually great that she believes getting a kidney will make things better for her. That's good. A conscious being would never say, well, a kidney is an illusion and you're really just trying to look outside of yourself for healing. Well, the truth is, if they could already heal themselves, they would have already done it. So actually, it's better for them to believe in something outside of themselves temporarily so that they will alleviate their fear. And in the end, it's going to be what they choose anyway. Right? That's why you can give some people medicine and they get well, and you give other people medicine and nothing happens. If the medicine in and of itself healed, then everybody wouldn't have any choice but to be healed if they took the medicine. So that's the proof that everybody's choosing at some level how they want to experience anything. And also, who's to say dying isn't the best thing that ever happened to that person?
Yeah.
I'm serious. Yeah. Who's to say everybody's supposed to be here? Just because I want the person to be here, does that mean that necessarily that would be the best thing for them? But once you become conscious, you get to the point that you realize there is no death. Well, then you're okay either way it goes. You're okay if the person drops their body, and you're okay if the person doesn't drop their body. I personally, frankly, to be absolutely honest, I was actually relieved when my mother made the transition out of that ravaged body that was causing her so much pain. And I love my mother deeply. So I'm not one of these people that believe on hanging on to the body. I don't think, no matter what. I always say I don't think because I don't know. I don't know what I'd think if somebody told me I had 6 months to live. I don't know if I'd be trying to do everything possible to make sure my body stuck around, or if I would be like looking forward to going. But I know I'm working on the attitude of looking forward to whatever happens.
Yeah.
That's why I'm studying this stuff, so that whatever happens, I won't lose my peace. Is what I'm working on. I'm not saying that I'm there, but to me, that certainly makes more. It would make to me, since I know I'm gonna drop my body one day, it would make much better sense to me to be working on an attitude that I would have peace about that than to be spending all my time trying to make sure that I didn't drop my body one day. So, in other words, why am I not going to do something I've seen everybody else do? But somehow or another, I'm not going to do it though. It's not going to happen to me. By the time it's time for me to go, there'll be an event of appeal, and I won't go. Nah, you're going to. You're going to. You're going to because you were created by something that loves you, and nothing that loves you will ever keep you in any limited form forever. You had your hand up a couple of times, bro.
Yeah, I had this dialed in, and I don't know what the hell I'm going to say. But you were talking about service and the universal power of God, whatever, and being serviced. I always like to ask these type of questions. What is one of the surefire signs that you are being serviced? When you're walking down the street, kind of agitated, or I'm feeling whatever, what can I zone into and go? I am being serviced.
You are being serviced,
Yeah.
or you being in service?
No, I'm being serviced.
What's a surefire sign that you're being serviced?
I did. Yeah, I'd just like to hear from you, as like I do. One of your. Like I said, I had this down and I lost the channel.
I just need something a little bit more specific.
Agitation. I was agitated at work today.
So, and then one day you're gonna say, and so what else is new? So what else is new? I mean, and so what else?
Is that a comment on my life?
I'm saying that the
Sure.
point that you truly being of service to yourself is the point that you go, and so what else is new? It'll be the day that you realize that's just what happens here. Is that all day long you get an opportunity to choose for peace or not. So in other words, I'll get rid of my conflict the minute I go, it's okay for me to have some conflict. I'll get rid of my irritation at work. And once I make it okay that irritation at work sometimes comes up, but it doesn't have any effect on who I really am. See, once I get that all of my feelings are okay and that all of my feelings are permissible, that's the end of my conflict. Because if I'm irritated and I think irritation is bad, then I'm going to be spending my time trying to make sure how can I not be irritated. But if you made irritation a normal aspect of the ego, of thinking that you're separate, then the irritation would pass really, really fast. It's the not having tolerance for irritation that keeps it going. It's not having tolerance for irritation that keeps it going. Okay, I'm around people who are not acting out my script right now. That's why I'm irritated. I'm really irritated because of the meaning that I'm giving to everything that's going on around here. So the truth is I'm irritating myself right now. And the reason why I'm irritated at work is because I'm making myself feel irritated at work. So as soon as you go, I'm making myself feel irritated, and the irritation is coming from me, you're on your way to ending your irritation forever.
Okay.
So when I'm feeling irritated, I just say, I'm feeling irritated. And I'm choosing to feel irritated, and I'm making myself feel irritated. I don't try to get rid of the irritation. I just admit that I'm irritated, and that I'm making myself feel irritated. Because the more I try to get rid of the irritation, the more I'm going to be thinking that something's wrong with me feeling irritated.
Gotcha.
You see what I mean? The
Right.
truth is, I just need to realize why I'm feeling irritated. I'm feeling irritated because of the meaning that I'm giving to what's happening to me right now.
Okay.
And what about when
So,
you're
yeah.
irritating somebody else?
They're the ones that are irritating themselves
Yeah.
about you. So
Okay.
you can never irritate anybody else. They can just use you for irritation.
Okay.
So
And some people,
And you can
right, and you may be, and you might be like the best person in the world for irritation. Like if you want some irritation, call on me. I'll give you some irritation. Okay. The one of the hardest. I'm glad you brought that up. One of the hardest things to do is to get to that level of consciousness where you recognize you're not responsible for other people's reactions to you. Because one of the things that used to hold me back the most, it still does sometimes, is my me being overly concerned with how the person's going to react to what I'm getting ready to say to them.
And that's exactly where the irritation came, or for lack of a better term, came to me today, was when I was worried about the reaction of my boss to something I had to tell him about something at work. That no, we can't do it that way. Oh my God, how's he going to take this? And I felt irritated. I went to a place of happiness, knowing I was going to see some friends and do some art and stuff like this and all that. I went to a happy place, and it went abundance, love, everything like that's coming out real quick. But that's where the irritation came in, is where I was worried about his response. Right. So that's a perfect example.
Yeah. So that's a perfect example of you irritating yourself.
Yeah, of me irritating
myself. Because it was you choosing to be worried about how your boss was going to react to what you were doing.
So really, kind of what you're saying is realizing the truth, admitting it to yourself, and knowing that you are doing it to yourself. So it's pretty damn simple.
Yeah. Knowing, and here's the part that will really take you over to the promised land. Know that you're doing it to what you think you are. What you really are never gets irritated. Who you really are is incapable of irritation. Cool. So the only thing that can really get irritated about anything is who you think you are. So who you think you are got upset with your boss. Who you are could never get upset with your boss, because who you are is holy, complete child of God. That's the one I'm working on right now. It's like let me make a claim. Let me claim my identity. My identity is love. My identity cannot be harmed. My identity is strong. Do I always see that? No. So that means that what I am thinking is me is really not me. So it's really what's not me that's getting irritated.
That's pretty deep stuff.
That's deep. Yeah. Like the minute you're angry, the truth is it's not you that's getting angry. It's who you think you are that's angry.
I like that.
I like that too. Yeah, it's like we got to separate ourselves from our ego. We got to stop thinking we are our ego. We're not the self that feels guilty. We made that self up, and now we identify with it. I made up an Earl that suffers, and then I called him Earl. I made up this thing that gets upset, then I called it me. I made up this, and then I called it me.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I needed to remember that. I love, my ego loves to tell me all day long how to avoid catastrophic outcomes. I have a voice that in every minute of the day is trying to warn me about something that might happen to me, something I might have to look out for, something that I should feel guilty about, something that I did wrong, something that's not enough, something that wants more, something that's never happy, something that's irritated. It's a voice in there is a voice in my mind that's always afraid about something, upset about something, worried about something. That's my ego, but that's not me. It's a voice that I made up, that I'm given the permission to tell me that crap all day long. So do I spend all day trying to get rid of that voice? No, I don't spend all day trying to get rid of that voice. What I do all day is work on not letting it guide me. I hear it, but I'm not. Because I'm going to tell you something. You can't get away from it. If you think you're going to get away from that voice, you're not being realistic, because all you got to do is turn on the freaking TV. All you got to do is look at the newspaper. All you got to do is listen to everybody around you. They are channeling that voice to you as much as you would be channeling it in your head. So to try to spend all day trying to make sure I don't hear those words is a very stupid way to use my time. Because as long as I'm here, I'm going to hear some insane, crazy things. So it would be much better for me to work on having a state of mind that's unaffected by it and doesn't listen to it and doesn't govern my life by it. That would be a better use of my time. But I see most people, and I used to do that too, I was always spending my time trying to make sure I didn't have those thoughts. It was all about, let me make sure I don't have those thoughts. Let me make sure I get rid of those thoughts. And then, even if I got rid of those thoughts, my cousin now just gonna still be talking that crap, right? Or somebody on your job or a friend. So it's really kind of funny, that whole idea that I'm gonna get rid of those thoughts, and so therefore I'm not gonna hear those thoughts anymore. If you're here in separation, you're gonna hear those thoughts. So it make much more sense to say, I'm in a place that I'm going to hear those thoughts, but like the Course says, those thoughts don't mean anything. I give those thoughts all the meaning they have for me.
That's very liberating.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's awesome. We've been so blessed. We've been given so many ways to get out of our pain. But I don't want to get out of my pain. There's a part of me that doesn't want to get out of my pain. There's a part of me that believes that if I feel guilty and afraid, it protects me. That if I was to dare say, everything is going to go great for me, I got a wonderful life, everything is wonderful, everybody is wonderful, I love everybody, things are just wonderful, that everything on earth is going to go wrong right after that. It's a part of me that believes that. It actually believes that being afraid protects me. That being unhappy and complaining all the time is somehow safe for me. It makes things better for me. As a matter of fact, it's more realistic. Am I the only one that has these thoughts? Would anybody care to say they also go through these things sometimes?
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, it's a trip though to be saying something like this. I know it. It's so funny. It's a trip to be saying these things and just watch everybody go. As if y'all don't ever go through any of the stuff that I'm talking about. Come on now. Come on. Don't leave a brother out here by himself. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. In other words, you sometimes have fear and you sometimes feel okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you. Woo! I mean, that's
I recently had a really funny experience where I was really in that fearful place and just crying out in my pain, you know, I'm tired of the insanity, and I clearly heard the voice of the Spirit saying, really? And it just brought such a moment of clarity to me. It's like, oh, okay.
Yes, we've only been waiting in eternity. So yeah, really? Are you really ready? Can I join you in the idea of you having peace and being out of pain? Would you join me with that idea also? Thank you, because he told us it takes two to make a decision. That decisions made in isolation have no power. A decision you make by yourself doesn't have any power. A decision you make by yourself doesn't have any power. It's only a decision made in unity and in union that has any power. That's one of the cool things about being in a relationship with somebody, if you want to use a relationship in the right way, is that you've given yourself someone in your life that y'all can constantly join together on making decisions and therefore have some decisions with power. You got your personal power with you. And that can be a friendship. It doesn't necessarily be a mate or a lover. It can be you siding with your own Holy Spirit. That's you making a decision, not in isolation. Yeah. But you don't make any decisions by yourself. He said you don't make any decisions by yourself anyway. No matter what decisions you make, you don't make. He said either you're making a decision with fear or you're making a decision with love. You're either making a decision with the ego or you're making a decision. He said we never make a decision by myself. So that voice that says, Earl, nothing goes right for you. If I go, you know you're right, then I create a situation that looks like nothing goes right for me. Because we join. I join with the part of my mind that believes I don't deserve to be happy. There's another part of my mind that's saying, you deserve unlimited joy and happiness and connection and union. And I go, yeah, you're right, I do. Now I've joined again, and then I'll have that blessing come into my life. But you never make a decision by yourself.
Yeah.
Never, ever, ever make a decision by yourself. That's the truth. Yeah. All right, let's acknowledge ourselves for hearing this much right here. That I want to start doing that's called listening to our personal oracle. And so, there are some books that are just incredible for if you open those books up, that what you open up to gives you some information at that point. And I found that this book that I read is incredible, called The Holy Spirit's Interpretation of the New Testament. It's incredible for its ability to do that. And so one of the things I want to do is say to Spirit, the Holy Spirit, the higher self, what would be a message that you want this group to hear before they go out into the world tonight? So I'm going to do that after I do the love offering. and because that was some advice he just gave me. And and I want to thank you for sharing with me, and thank you for giving to yourself, because that's what you're doing according to the course. Everything you give is really something you give into yourself. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for showing your love in a way that actually makes a real difference in my life
Thank you.
and in your life.
Right back in.
Yeah, yeah. It's very hard to eat a hug
Right.
unless you got ketchup on it. A little ketchup, you can eat a hug.
You can eat anything.
Yeah,
Not a hook.
yeah. So 1 o'clock on Sunday, next Course in Miracles class. If you go to my website or YouTube, you can hear all of the classes that we're doing, and I'm available for one-on-one sessions. And those of you who watch this on the internet, you can go to my website and you can get in touch with me, and I also do phone sessions. Don't forget the time change that's coming up this weekend. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Before we lose the energy, let's bring it in, and then let me do this right quick so we can get out on time. So take a breath, and I'd like you to take a moment. I'd like you to take a moment and really think about what is it that you need to know right now.
Yes.
Like, take a moment to literally ask yourself that. As a group, what is it that we need to know individually and collectively?
Mm-hmm.
There is no one that you meet who is not you also. As you greet him, you greet yourself. Give patience to your brother, and you give patience to the one that you are. Give trust to your brother, and you give trust to the one that you are. Give hope to your brother through your practice of my every word, and you give message to yourself that my word is true. Give love to your brother by greeting your brother as one in you. And those, not one with you. It says give love to your brother by greeting him as one in you. And you give truth to the man that is yourself. Be humble with your brother, and you recognize his true spirit, which is also your spirit. Give honor to your brother, and you give remembrance that your only truth is me. Give to your brother as you would give to yourself in holy remembrance of me. And you give of your willingness to release the world, and then you awaken from the dream of fear. Give in peace through thought to the world that is you. I said it again. Give in peace through thought to the world that is you. This is the way to remember your truth, which is peace and freedom and love. Give thought to your thoughts. I love that. Give thought to your thoughts and be aware, for that which is thought is you. I love it. Give thought to your thoughts and be aware, for that which is your thought is you. Believe the thoughts that speak not of your truth. Believe the thoughts that speak not of your truth, and you accept a message that's untrue. To be free of delusion, release delusional thoughts. Listen to delusional thoughts no more. Be aware that you perceive and believe as you think. You perceive and believe as you think. I perceive and believe as I think. Question what you think against that which you truly desire. To let go of division-based thoughts is to let go of all that isn't true. This frees the mind of what it believes and opens the mind to remember the truth. Now I ask you to remember your Father, whose will has sent this voice to you. It is the will of oneness and peace, of truth that is forever true. To remember your Creator is to remember your truth. You are loved and you are forever free. In your oneness, you are blessed as the Holy Son of God. In your oneness, you are forever your truth. Love yourself as love is what you are. That's our message. Wow. Love yourself as love is what you are. Forever be kind and gentle. Give nothing that is not deserving. Give nothing that is not deserving in the mind of peace. Give nothing that is not deserving in the mind of peace. and honor your thought through thought. Honor your thought to thought, through thought. Honor your thought through thought. Honor your thought through thought. That's interesting. So take a breath. Love is yourself, as love is what you are. Love yourself, as love is what you are. Love yourself, as love is what you are. I love myself, for love is what I am. I love myself, for love is what I am. I love myself, for love is what I am. I love myself, for love is what I am. I love myself, for love is what I am. I love myself. You are loved, and you are forever free. I am loved, and I am forever free. I am loved, and I am forever free. I am love, and I am forever free. I am love, and I am forever free. I am love, and I am. So you want to put some new memories in your body. You want to put some new energy in your body. You want to get some new thoughts in your body. So when you say stuff like this, you're impregnated. You're impregnated. You're impregnated. You are impregnated. I am love, and I am forever free. 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 We are love, and we are forever free. We are love, and we are forever free. We are love, and we are forever free. You are love, and you are forever free. You are love, and you are forever free. I am 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 free. I rest in God. 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 Would you acknowledge yourself, Holy Spirit? Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to serve you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All the time.